2018 Lexus LC 500 hours review. A world-class cabin and complex hybrid powertrain make LC 500 hours a standout sport coupe. Buyers of high-end luxury vehicles are widely used to getting what they need, but until recently, opulent sports cars that didn't gorge on vast stores of gasoline simply didn't exist. Now, the most experienced hybrid automakers in the flooring BYD is thrusting its best foot forward with all the new 2018 Lexus LC 500 hours. This seductive coupe has an enticing combination of high style, performance, comfort and luxury. Motivating the LC 500 hours is often a combination of any 3.5-litre gasoline V6 plus an electric motor. A continuously variable automatic transmission works together with a traditional 4-speed automatic to send out power to the back wheels. The unique powertrain helps with the most out on the horsepower available, which can be 354 horsepower with the total system. This hybrid feels quick on the highway. In fact, it posted the identical 060 miles per hour time at our test track because the V8-driven LC 500. Plus, you will get 30 miles per gallon in combined city highway driving, good DPA, and that is fantastic for just a luxury performance coupe and most 50% better fuel economy compared to LC 500. As impressive as being the powertrain is, Oahu is the cabin that immediately yields probably the most impassioned responses from passengers. From the seats for the headliner, just about any surface is draped in supple leather or suede. The penchant for high-quality materials even travels right down to smaller details, such because the paddle shift is crafted from magnesium plus the hand-trimmed shift knob. There are a few functional blunders, such because Lexus remote touch infotainment interface, and that is unwieldy and must make use of. But overall we presume highly on the LC 500 hours. It's proof that Lexus can craft a jaw-dropping coupe that stands toe-to-toe with many of one of the most elite Grand Tourers on discount sales today. What's new? The Lexus LC 500 hours is all new for 2018. A new model from the Lexus lineup, the LC 500 hours is primarily a two-seat race car, though it does have two small seats in back to utilize in a pinch. The 500 hours could be the hybrid version which utilizes a mix of a standard gasoline V6 with an electric motor. There is additionally a V8-powered model known as the LC 500, covered in the separate review. The Lexus LC 500 hours will come in only one trim, but several desirable optional packages transform the character on the car and provide it a personalized touch. Though the world thinks the LC offers excellent outward visibility for any sports car, adding the convenience package for blind spot monitoring. The Touring Pack's upgraded leather upholstery and faux suede headliner help increase the luxury factor. The Sport package is definitely an enticing alternative on the Touring, but find its sport seats are restrictive to everyone but probably the most slender drivers. Trim levels and features. The 2018 Lexus LC 500 hours is usually a unique car. There are no other high-end hybrid sport coupes which is a starting price under six figures. It's bought from just a single trim. The V8-powered LC 500 is reviewed separately, but there are plenty of standard features. It's sufficiently luxurious without the options. Two packages, convenience and touring, convey a few creature comforts including upgraded leather and blind spot monitoring. For those seeking dynamic improvements, the sport and performance packages have you ever covered with simulated suede upholstery through the cabin, a torsion limit slip differential and much more. The LC 500 hours is powered with a 3.5-litre V6 assisted by an electrical motor, generating 354 horsepower overall. Two transmissions, a continuously variable automatic as well as a 4-speed conventional automatic, work with conjunction to drive the trunk wheels. The transmission simulates an overall of 10 gears, that may be manually selected using steering wheel-mounted shift paddles. Like most luxury coupes with this price range, the LC 500 Hours boasts many standard features. They include 20-inch wheels, LED exterior lights, automatic high-beam control, heated and auto-dimming mirrors with puddle lamps, keyless entry and ignition, ambient interior lighting, an 8-inch driver information screen, a power-adjustable tilt-tantless coping leader, adaptive cruise control, 8-way power front seats with two-way power lumbar, driver seat memory settings, adjustable driving modes, a 10.3-inch central display, a navigation system, as well as a 12-speaker stereo audio with 2 USB ports and HD and satellite radio. Notable security measures include a rear-view camera, a pre-collision warning system with automatic braking, and lane departure warning and mitigation. Since the LC 500 Hours is well equipped as its, merely a smattering of options and packages can be found, however some significantly affect the character in the car. Standalone options include 20 and 21-inch wheels, a head-up display, a Torsen limit slip differential and also a 13-speaker Mark Levinson premium sound system. If you intend to pack the LC 500 Hours with more luxury features, take into account the all-weather package, which adds a heated tire and windshield deicer, the convenience package, that literally brings front and rear parking sensors and blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, as well as the touring package, which adds forged 20-inch wheels, a simulated suede headliner, upgraded leather upholstery plus the Mark Levinson stereo audio. If a higher performance hybrid is a bit more your speed, you are able to specify the sport package, which adds the convenience package plus front sport seats with simulated suede inserts plus the limit slip diff. This package will also be ordered that has a carbon fiber roof. Finally, the performance package takes the sport package with carbon fiber roof and adds an adaptive rear spoiler, an engaged rear steering system, variable ratio steering, carbon fiber kick plates as well as the simulated suede headliner. Trim tested. Each vehicle typically will come in multiple versions which might be fundamentally similar. The S on this review derived from our full test on a 2018 Lexus LC 500 Hours 3.5 litres V6 hybrid, CVT automatic, RWD. Driving. The LC 500 HS powertrain is less appealing Atlanta divorce attorney's way compared to the more affordable V8 option, save for fuel economy. It's not power efficient. However, it does convey a palpable 150 pounds and a few drivability issues and removes each of the all pleasure you would have enjoyed together with the 8-cylinder. Acceleration. This LC's hybrid is quicker than its specs suggest, excel from 0 to 60 miles per hour within a reasonably quick 5 seconds. But it's much less punchy and satisfying because the V8 car. There are occasional power fluctuations if not at full throttle. Braking. The complicated hybrid system affects that the LC 500 Hours switches between regenerative and standard braking. The brake pedal's engagement could be inconsistent if driving in stop-and-go traffic, along with the pedal feel is numb. Panic stops from 60 miles per hour are stable and relatively respectable at 111 feet. Steering. The steering feels tuned more for comfort than toward performance. There's not much feedback of what the front tires are going to do. But the steering is precise and weighted appropriately light for just a Grand Tourer. Handling. As a Grand Touring hybrid, the LC 500 Hours performs not surprisingly. It has superb weight balance as well as run-flat tires stick decently. but tight roads reveal its beefy curb weight, plus the lack of feedback on the steering as well as the brakes doesn't help. Drivability. The incredibly complex and intriguing transmission combo of any CVT and also a 4-speed automatic can also be the LC500HS listlessness, which ties in while using braking issues. Downshift solution is lacking sometimes, as well as the transmission is busy and frequently uncertain in the actions it ought to take. Comfort. Our testers' standard seats tend to be more comfortable compared to the optional sport seats, and they are appropriate for this impressively comfortable Grand Tourer. The ride is very useful, highway noise is minimal, and also the climate control is highly when left to its own devices. Seat comfort. Our testers' standard seats are supportive, whilst they have less bolstering versus the optional sport seats. The seat cushioning is pleasantly supportive, however the seat back lacks height adjustable lumbar. They may feel less well suited for bigger, wider physiques. Ride comfort. The adaptive suspension is good at absorbing small and large road imperfections. Even with big 20-inch wheels and stiff front flat tires, the LC is comfortable without feeling disconnected through the road. That said, we were hard-pressed to note much difference between different drive modes. Noise and vibration. There's some noticeable wind noise at freeway speeds and, depending on the street's surface, some tire noise, too. But out partying or on well-kept roads, the LC 500 hours is pleasantly quiet, particularly when running in F mode. The V6 hybrid's sound is not as pleasant because the V8's. Climate control. The automatic climate control is effective, plus the automatic seat heating and cooling is really a nice touch. Basic temperature adjustments are easy, there are voice commands for a number of climate functions. But for full manual control, you need make use of the touchpad system, that's very awkward. Interior. Good visibility along with a comfortable, sporty driving position are definitely the highlights. This Lexus can also be easier to get into and beyond than many low-slung coupes. The cabin is generally very upscale, having a few exceptions. The biggest letdown will be the first touchpad infotainment interface. Ease of usage. While everything's very easy to reach, many controls are first make use of. Locating options within the infotainment system, which consists of awkward haptic touchpad interface, is problem. The tire controls have a bit of becoming accustomed to because not everyone is intuitively placed or labeled. Getting in, jetting out. Access is slightly easier in comparison to many sports cars because of a seat that's higher relative to your ground than ones in a few competitors, along with a steering wheel that moves out in the way. But the long doors mean an abundance of clearance is required, there's a higher and wide sill to step over. Driving position. The seat feels appropriately low and snug in the car due to a sporting position as well as the high beltline and armrests. Taller drivers would like more telescoping from the controls. Otherwise the positioning is comfortable and a clear view with the gauges, controls and also the road ahead. Roominess. The cabin is surprisingly small relative to your LC500HS size, however it isn't from line to the class. The bulky transmission tunnel and raked greenhouse sides mean you might have little room to maneuver. The rear seat is useless for adults as well as taller children. Visibility. Visibility out the front and back is surprisingly good, although the top end with the car is difficult to judge because with the hood's slope and grille's bulbous shape. The small side mirrors plus the thick rear roof pillars mean rear three-quarter visibility isn't great. Quality. Overall quality is exceptionally high with compelling decor to match. Leather, simulated suede, and metal or metal feeling plastics abound, and things are assembled to a superior level. It's an interior befitting a motor vehicle of this class, and even beyond it. Utility. The LC 500 hours has little or no usable space considering its size. Small item storage is a premium, without even an excellent spot to store your phone for convenient access. The trunk is quite small and gets hot quickly. The back seat is one of the most useful storage space from the vehicle. Small item storage. The door pockets, glove box and armrest bin are small. The cup holders are poorly placed. One is on overhanging trim as well as the other obstructs the touchpad. The armrest bin would be the only selection for phone storage, but it really requires 2 steps to gain access to and only hinges open facing the driving force. Cargo space. At 4.7 cubic feet, the spine is smaller than the standard LC 500's trunk and Porsche 911's. It's small, shallow, having a high lift-over, so you will end up limited to some couple of small bags. There's no extra storage under a corner floor, and also the trunk gets quite hot after even relatively short drives. Child safety seat accommodation. There are latch points for rear outboard seats, but rear access is actually difficult in a Aichi. Plus the sorely limited rear seat space ensures that finding a gauge that matches and maneuvering it into place would both be Herculean tasks. Technology. It's unfortunate that an auto, which looks so space-age externally, must be saddled with Lexus technology internally. While the trick sliding gauge cluster is usually a nice touch, the infotainment method is particularly fast, and voice controls yield inconsistent results. Audio and navigation. Our car's Mark Levinson system was truly excellent, nevertheless the NAV system seriously isn't up to par. It requires a definitive address, otherwise obtaining a destination is somewhere and very involved and impossible if you do not call destination assist. And talking which as a human can be an awkward solution. Smartphone integration. Bluetooth works quite nicely, as well as the ability to browse your phone's content over the Bluetooth connection is great. Even so, the car lacks Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Inform apps can be purchased, however, you only obtain a limited variety of apps, and not all of them preferable to their standard counterparts. Driver aids. A full suite of driver aids is roofed. The rear view camera successful enough, although taking into consideration the car's size, a 360 camera can be nice. Forward and rear parking sensors help. Adaptive cruise mostly is useful, nonetheless it can occasionally be unpredictably overreactive and minding. Voice control. Voice controls present you with a lot of functionality, high-spoken and on-screen guides, but email address details are inconsistent before you use the voice training program. Firstly, if someone makes some mistake in certain processes, which might be several steps long, you've to start from scratch rather than heading back a step.